So, in this video, I would like to talk about the sedition law, which is a very controversial law in India, and it's a gray area, lot of misuse is there. It's a violation of Article 19, the freedom of speech and expression. And what is this sedition law all about, and how is it misused, and what are the issues associated with that? That is what I would like to discuss in this particular video. So, the sedition law and the misuse in India, that is the discussion I would like to. Again, this is yet another controversial topic I would like to say. There are many people in this country, unfortunately, even educated youth, they talk about what is harm, what is wrong with this, why should you speak. See, you please understand that the freedom of speech and expression, that is one of the most hard fought rights, one of the most coveted rights which we have. We cannot give up only because we speak something inconvenient to the rulers of the country, inconvenient to the people who hold power, those who are in government. So, that cannot be, this law cannot be misused, and they cannot silence the criticism. Unfortunately, the sedition law and all these things are used only to silence the critics. Now, let us see what is this all about, and why is it controversial, and why it is not acceptable in a democratic system. That is what I would like to discuss. And again, in this discussion also, I would like to remind you that some of you might not have been thinking in this line, because we want to create a liberal society. Our society should be democratic, it should be liberal, it's where we can express ourselves and we can have the full development of our mental, physical, spiritual development should be there. That freedom, that is the meaning of the fundamental right. That is what we want, and it should be there, and it should not be violated by anybody. And however difficult is for the people who are in power. And most importantly, among all the developing countries in the world, India, it is the most cherished rights which we enjoy. India is one of the rarest countries in the world who right from 1940s, right from our independence, right from 1950 when the constitution came into being, this right to freedom of speech and expression, everything is there. So, we got this freedom. Most of us did not fight for it. Our forefathers fought for it. They had the vision. That is why these rights are there with us. Today, even today, many of these countries in the world are not enjoying these rights. So, we should not give up on this. We should not allow this to be diluted by the ruling party, which is very, very sad if we support, this kind of laws which, curtail our rights. So, coming to the sedition law. First of all, what is sedition? Sedition is a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch. So, it is a conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of the state, to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch. See, this is the literal meaning of sedition. So, if you are inciting, sedition is a conduct or a speech which incites people to rebel against the state, against the country, against India, an anti-India activity. It is not against the government. See, I can criticize the government. See, monarch, because in a monarchy time it is different. We are a democracy. We have every right to criticize the government. But yes, we should not be inciting people to rebel against the state. That is correct. See, there are so many instances in our country. I remember earlier, former JNU, student leader, that Kanhaiya Kumar was, slapped with sedition. Even today, after many, many years, even today, Delhi police failed to frame even a proper case against him. Or many of the activists who participated in the that Citizenship Amendment Act, they were all charged under the sedition, which is very, very unfortunate. So, state authorities, please understand, in our problem, the problem in our country right now is state authorities are misusing this provision and misusing, and any critic is declared as a anti-national person, and sedition charges are put. Now, even not only this, even the trial courts, Supreme Court is very clear, but when it comes to trial court, the lower courts are disregarding even the Supreme Court judgments, and they are very happy to slap this case against individuals, which is quite unfortunate. Now, what is this law in India? That is what is the sedition law, is section 124A. Sedition law is section 124A of the IPC. It says, whoever by words either spoken or written, so by words spoken or written, or by sign, or by visible representation, brings or attempts to bring into hatred, brings by words, brings hatred or contempt or excite or attempt to excite, bring hatred or contempt or excites disaffection towards the government, excites disaffection towards the government. This is the problem, towards disaffection towards the government established by law in India. So, towards the government, see, now this was written by Britishers. This is not written by, by the present constitution or the constitution makers. This is where the problem is. Sedition law, article 124A of the IPC says, whoever by words, spoken or written or by sign, brings hatred or contempt or excites disaffection towards the government, excites disaffection towards the government. Even towards the state, it should have been towards the state, shall be punished with imprisonment. Okay. So, some of them even can be sent for life imprisonment. So, if you speak something and if it brings hatred or contempt or excite disaffection to the government, that is what is written in section. This is a very draconian law. And if you look at it, what is the origin of this law? See, please remember, in 1837, when Thomas Macaulay, when the codification of the law was going on, even Thomas Macaulay, when he codified, he wanted a sedition law, a sedition law in the IPC, but at that time it was not added. So, in 1837, in Macaulay proposed, but somehow this was omitted. This was not there in the original IPC. This sedition law was not there. So, Macaulay's original IPC, it was not added. Even though he proposed, it was not added. But finally, in 1870, this was added into the IPC. 1870, this sedition law added. In 1870, it was added. Then one of the very famous sedition case was in 1897 against the Lokmanya Tilak. 1897 against Tilak. Sedition law, it was a historically famous case. And again in 1922 against Mahatma Gandhi, he wrote 3 articles in Young India. Mahatma Gandhi, he wrote articles in Young India, 3 articles in Young India, and the famous sedition case against Mahatma Gandhi. Section 124A was used against Mahatma Gandhi. And he said, Mahatma Gandhi said, very famous statement, this is the section 124A, he said, section 124A is the prince among the political sections of the IPC, prince among the Indian Penal Code, designed to suppress the liberty of the citizens, designed to suppress the liberty, the freedom, liberty of the citizens. So you see, Mahatma Gandhi's own words in 1922, he said, section 124A is the prince among the political sections of the IPC, designed to suppress the liberty of citizens. That is what Mahatma Gandhi said. And even after independence, this IPC, this section 124 continued. Remember, Britishers made it. Even in Britain, this law has not been used for almost 100 years now, more than 100 years now it seems. There is no sedition law, imposed against anybody in Britain. Britishers did it. It was against the freedom fighters at that time. Please understand, the sedition law was introduced by Britishers. There should not be any ill will against, or rather, we should not create disaffection towards the government, because the colonial masters wanted this law, because anybody by words bring hatred or contempt or excites disaffection towards the government, they should be punished, because the colonial masters were not liked by Indians. That is why it is there. Even after independence in 1962, a very famous case in 1962, in the Kedarnath case. Kedarnath Singh case, Supreme Court, it was versus State of Bihar, laid down that a person can be charged with sedition only if there is an incitement to violence. Only if there is an incitement to violence. And in the speech or in the writing, or an intention to create disorder or disturbance in law and order. In the speech, he can charge a person with sedition only if there is an incitement to violence in the speech, or there is a tendency to create disorder or disturbance in the law and order. That is what in the Kedarnath Singh case, Supreme Court said, you cannot, only because I said something or you said something, there cannot be a sedition law. You can say anything, but if your action or your speech is followed by, if there is an intention to create violence, and if your speech is followed by some action, then only sedition should be charged. Even in 1978 in the Maneka Gandhi case, Supreme Court held that criticizing and drawing general opinion against the government's policies, criticizing the government's policies and decisions within a reasonable limit does not incite people to rebel, is consistent, and which is not inciting people to rebel against the state, is consistent with the freedom of speech. That means you can criticize, you can oppose, you can oppose the policies, and you can speak anything, and if it is not inciting people to rebel against the state, such action, such speech and even writing will be consistent with the freedom of speech. That means you have a right to have freedom of speech. In fact, in these days, in March 2020, during the the Citizenship Amendment Act protests were going on, a man was charged with sedition only to raise a slogan, a pro-Pakistani slogan. A person in March 2020, during the anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests in Bangalore, he raised pro-Pakistan slogan, Pakistan Zindabad. Immediately sedition law was charged. See, that cannot amount to that. He only spoke. He did not incite violence. He did not do anything. He only spoke. See, he have a right to freedom of speech and expression. In another case in North Karnataka, in Bidar district, a school principal was charged with sedition for conducting a play, a drama depicting some anti-Citizenship Amendment Act. School principal, the parents, all of them were booked under sedition law in Karnataka again. These are all, we should consider these are excesses. It's too much. We cannot allow this to happen. And this is against the spirit of democracy. You have a right to freedom of speech and the sedition. Supreme Court, Kedarnath Singh case is the best example. That is the golden rule of sedition law. The Supreme Court is very clear. You can slap a sedition charge, sedition law only if the speech is followed by action, and if it is really inciting violence or creating trouble in the society, then only, and if it is against the state, if it is against the government, nothing can be stopped, or rather you can have a right to speak against the government. So, coming to the analysis, final conclusion and analysis. First of all, please see, sedition is an offence which is there in the Indian Penal Code, and it is a British legacy. It is a hangover from the British. It is not a, and they wanted, Britishers wanted this law against the freedom fighters, against Indians. But in India right now, our government, we are ruled by our government, our representatives are ruling us, and then they are slapping sedition law against us. We elected these leaders, but they are slapping sedition law against us. This is ironical in a democracy. This is not accepted. The irony is that in independent India, we are still using this to bully and terrorize innocent people, innocent citizens, our own citizens who have a difference of opinion. Supreme Court, in its interpretation of Article 124A, has clearly said that it has to be against the state. That number one is, it's a British law. Number two, Supreme Court has said that it should be clearly, anything what is spoke or done should be clearly against the state and not against the government. But unfortunately, even if you speak against the government, sedition law is charged against them. And you are misusing this. And sedition law itself, sedition law is a violation of the freedom of speech and expression, no doubt regarding this. According to international law also, criticism of the government and its institutions are legitimate. Criticism of the government and its institutions are legitimate. Even a harsh criticism is legitimate. But it's a part of the freedom of speech and expression. That is what even international law says. Now, very interesting thing, I would like to add a couple more points. If somebody says Pakistan Zindabad, how can it be sedition? That is very, very unfortunate. That is how the laws are being, the sedition laws are charged against people. See, another good example, I was reading in an article, during Nehru's time, Nehru said, Hindi, Chini, Bhai Bhai. So, which is more, we are calling China a Bhai. So, this is much more, I will say, if Zindabad, if you say it is sedition, then Hindi, Chini, Bhai Bhai is a bigger sedition. So, Nehru should have been booked under sedition. If only because he said the Chinese people are our Bhai. Zindabad, if you say, and if it is sedition, then Hindi, Chini, Bhai Bhai, if you said, it is definitely, it's an unpardonable thing and he should be booked under sedition. There was another very interesting comment, in Christianity, and Jesus Christ, he talked about, it is not sufficient that you love your friends. You have to love your enemy also. Jesus Christ insisted that as part of the Christian values, he said, not only you love your friends, you please love your enemies. Now, according to some critics, some commentators, they said, had Jesus Christ been alive in India today, had he preached the same gospel in India today, he could have been arrested for sedition, because you are asking to love, say, Pakistanis also, love your enemy. He only said it. But, that is a joke. And that is that is something, that is hypocrisy which is going on in our state. That is why the commentator said that, Jesus Christ would have been arrested in India had he said the same gospel today. That's what people say. And so, bottom line is, Britishers created this law to suppress the Indian dissent. And, we are using it now against our own citizens. Even in the Kedarnath Singh case, Supreme Court was very clear, it should be followed up by some action, then only it can amount to sedition. Kanhaiya Kumar or anybody else, whatever they spoke is immaterial. Whether they followed up this with action, that is what we should have been looking into, rather than charging anybody and everybody with sedition is a serious crime. You are waging a war against the state. You are only by saying something. And it should, if somebody is inciting people for a violent revolution to overthrow the state, it is okay, then it is sedition. If you are only saying, I don't agree with this, or Afzal Guru Zindabad or something, if you said in JNU at that time, it seems, we don't know who said it also. The police could not even establish that Kanhaiya Kumar said this. Kanhaiya Kumar did not say this. But in a meeting somebody said, and he was charged with sedition. So these are excesses by the government to suppress the freedom of speech and expression. There is another funny case in India a couple of years before in Meerut. Some students, some Jammu and Kashmir students who were studying in some Meerut college, during an India-Pakistan match many years before, they supported Pakistan. And they when they supported and they praised Pakistan, they celebrated the Pakistan's victory, they were charged with sedition. Just imagine Indians in England, when any cricket match is there between India and England, most of the stadium is full of Indian origin people, British citizens there. They are supporting, they are coming with Indian flag and they are supporting India. Then all these fellows should have been charged with sedition in England. Or in Australia, you see India-Australia match or India-New Zealand match. Indian origin people who are Australian citizens or New Zealand citizens right now, they are celebrating India's victory. They are only Indian origin people, people of Indian origin, PIOs. Now, what should we do with them? Not we, what should Australian government or New Zealand government should have been doing? They should have been all sent to India back, or they have been charged with sedition. See, this is the problem in our country. We are, misusing this law. This law is to be sparing. In fact, first of all, I will say that such a law should not be. There is no space for such a law in a democracy. We don't require this kind of a law. There are many other provisions. If somebody is waging a war against the state, there are many other provisions to book them. If at all this law is good, and if it is important, if we don't want to remove it, then it should be used very judiciously, sparingly, very rarely. Only if, and I still remember a sedition case was charged against even Arundhati Roy many years before, I think almost 10 years before. At that time, what did she do? She said that she said in a speech, she said, I think we should consider the freedom of people of Jammu and Kashmir. Or she said, I support the freedom for Jammu and Kashmir. So only because she said that she support freedom in Jammu and Kashmir, that does not mean that she has become, she was charged with the sedition law. She cannot be, she should not be charged with the sedition law. If her speech is followed up by an action which is organizing people and encouraging people to fight against India, then sedition charge can be there, only because I express my opinion. Suppose I say, I love, what you call, homosexual people or, lesbians or transgender. And if you don't like it, no, you cannot call me as an anti-national element. Or even if I have my own opinion, I have my own opinion on certain things. I should have a right to express my opinion. I may say about the freedom, I have an opinion about federalism. I have an opinion about, the center-state relations. And you cannot call, and even I have an opinion on LAC, line of actual control. If I say what India did in line of control is not correct, how can you say that it is an anti-national thing? How can you charge me with sedition? So the problem is, only because I express my opinion, I should not be charged with sedition. That is what Supreme Court has very clearly said in the Kedarnath Singh case in 1962. Even in the Maneka Gandhi case in 1978, Supreme Court is 100% clear. Only because somebody expressed their opinion, he should not be charged with sedition. So sedition laws are misused in our country. Every now and then we are hearing this. It is quite unfortunate. This is how we are trying to kill our democracy and our basic freedom. And we should be aware, we should be vigilant. And the youth People like you and me are the people who should be raising this voice against misuse of such laws, such draconian laws, which cannot be misused, which should not be misused by people in power to further their basic interest. Criticism can be there and should be there. If something is wrong and if you don't like, you should be able to criticize. That should be the spirit of any democracy. And we need a liberal society, not an orthodox, narrow-minded, restricted society. So that's all about the sedition law.